the feeling never gets old. Just how exciting is it to get this group, back in the NCAA tournament?
It's actually, I feel really good about it because, this year we had a core group of people in years past that had made some shows. Obviously, Maggie and Karli have been on TV twice back-to-back or whatever. But, when you get different team, even if you're talented, sometimes it takes a little while to, mesh together. And we've had our little bit of ups and downs for our season or whatever. But I think we're, progressing in the right direction. So I think we're in, the time frame of where we get really hot at the right time, basically. And so I feel good about it. And, going to Pittsburgh is a different place than we've been before. But we just got to get prepared for that aspect of stuff. I got a little idea of how the bowling alley plays there. I've been told that the place hooks a lot. So I've got some ideas of how things are going to go there. But I feel good about our situation, and I think we're preparing well, and hopefully we can continue to progress and have a really good regional to get to Vegas. But we can't put the cart before the horse. We got to take it one frame and one match at a time.
Obviously, you've seen the competition previously. What are your thoughts on who you play first and having Nebraska in the same round?
You got to beat somebody at any point. Obviously we were a 2 seed, so we were going to have to beat any 1 seed or whatever of the 4. So you have to beat somebody to get there regardless. Vice versa. Let's say that we would have got to the top 4 and Nebraska would have been 6th, then they would have had to beat us, and the talent difference not that much. But Maryville's a really good team too. They're very well coached. Both coaches bowl on professionally or whatever, so they're a very well coached team, and can't take them lightly by any means. I mean, they've got good bowlers, and they're not going to be an easy opponent they could win the regional. They're good enough to win the regional by far. So we just got to take it one at a time and just let our mind and body take over on our shots, and let our ability take over. And all you got's a really good offense. There is no defense really, and so we got to just put up a higher score than everybody else.
What are some of the things y'all are going to work on before heading over to Pittsburgh?
Trying to work on a little bit more mental preparation on some things, getting everything right to let the body take over, put us in some positions like do a mega match, for example, because the mega match format, obviously we had mega matches at the conference tournament, but we're going to try to, implement and add some of that as well. Obviously all you can do is try to prepare the best you can, right? Like you can't implement the pressure as much as what you would be in an event, but you can implement the mega match. We got 11 girls, so we can go 5-on-5 and separate and try to implement that aspect of stuff and do some competition that way. And then we obviously got to make sure the spare shooting is really good too. So we'll be focusing on some spare shooting. We've been going a little longer at practice than normal. I've always normally been a 2-hour practice person, and then we do individual work for like an hour, when they come in on their own, but we've been extending practice out to 3.5 hour type thing to try to get prepared to go. So those things be done, and then from there, that's basically it. We just realize you're training and let your body and mind work together, and if you do that, you'll make the best shots you know how.
This is obviously one of many steps, but I know the feeling never gets old. How cool is it just every year NCAA tournaments coming around and you see your name in the bracket?
It's very exciting, of course. Get to try and go to another Final Four with my team, and I don't know, it's just so exciting to be able to have the opportunity and compete to even be able to go there. So,
how would you say this season has gone for the team? Obviously, it's gone pretty well. You're back in the tournament.
We had a slow start with anything, but the last 2 tournaments we kind of came together and started to push more as a team, and I think that we're looking pretty good going into the regionals, so I'm excited to see where that goes and where it takes us.
You guys have like a battle-tested schedule every single year. How much does that really prepare you guys for the postseason?
A lot, because we see these teams throughout the year, so it's not like we haven't bowled them before. It's just a different setting, and I think we're going to do good together and just keep pushing. So.
Where do you feel like personally you've improved on the most, from the start of the season until now?
For me, I've been put more in a pressure situation than my last 2 years, just having to become kind of more in the anchor spot. So I think growing in that position and trying to figure out how to be more of a leader and just kind of being confident in myself, I've grown a lot, and trying to just be more confident, I suppose. So.
What are your thoughts about the bracket that you have, the competition you'll have in Pittsburgh?
I think it's a pretty good bracket. I wasn't expecting to go to Pittsburgh, I guess, but it's exciting. It will be good though. It'll be fun.
All right, I know this is one step of many goals this year. I mean, I know the feeling doesn't get old. Just how exciting is it just to see your name in the bracket?
Yeah, I mean, it's surreal. I transferred here a couple of years ago, and my experience at Arkansas State has been nothing but the best.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Just talk about where you're going. Your thoughts on the teams in your bracket.
We're going to Pittsburgh this year. That's the first time, I think, for most of the team that we've made it out to Pittsburgh. I'm excited to see. I've never been out there. The team hasn't either. So we're excited to see what it is. We have a little bit of a harder bracket with Maryville and Nebraska, but I have nothing but confidence in the team that will come out as the winners.
What have you just learned the most about just this group this entire season?
I learned that you have to bond. You have to do everything in your power to get to know each other and work together and build relationships with people that you wouldn't necessarily build relationships with.
For you personally, where do you feel like you've improved the most just from the start of the season until now?
I think personally just in my physical game. I was struggling a lot during the first half of the season, and something just clicked and everything just seems to be going in the right direction, and it seems to be going that way for the whole team, and I'm really excited to see what we do at NCAAs this year.